What's going on? Welcome back to a new episode of Une Sports, episode 76. Always available on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. We're back for a new episode, a new show, and you're joined with your hosts, Mike and Richie. What's going on, Mike?
Not much, baby. Getting ready to do another show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are. It's Monday, the 25th, right? Of March.
Yeah. I don't even be looking at the dates anymore.
All I
remember is
I usually never say the date. That's probably the first time I'm saying that. March 20th. Yeah, it is.
I gotta remember April 15th. Yeah, that's when taxes are due. That's it.
Okay. Fair enough. So we will have a variety of topics today. Very good topics by Mike today. And I'm not sure. You want to start right now, Mike?
Yeah, let's go, man.
All right. You ready to go? All right. So the very first topic we're gonna discuss is INEOS Group Mike wanted to ask me if they're making the wrong move by potentially keeping Ten Hag, and that's the company. How many percentage that Sir Jim Ratcliffe? 25% purchase.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Man United there, so. You want me to go first, or
no? I mean, we're in the international break right now. Ten Hag coming off of a very impressive win at the right time. I mean, we were just discussing pre-production.
I remember when I was watching the game. I'm like, is Mike sleeping? Because like they're playing well.
Because I was at work, and so I missed the entire game. I didn't know what was happening.
Not a good game. It's not one of those games like you're saying. No. Like they're scrapping the W away.
When I got back home, I went to watch the game. I watched the full 120 minutes of that game, man.
Let me find out how he managed to win that game.
And it was impressive, man. It was impressive. I know a lot of pundits would say that Liverpool dominated the second half, maybe with possession, but
they
weren't really threatening.
If you're looking at that way, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but they weren't really threatening. I think
exactly that's the thing.
I really think Manchester United, again, if this team plays with a little bit more. Like, it seems like a lot of their players just want to be superheroes at the end of the day. Like, everybody wants to gun for the win. Like, Bruno Fernandes has had a horrendous season by all accounts, in my opinion. I'm ready to burn his jersey. That's how bad he's been this season. That's how bad he's been this season, in my opinion. But he's an Iron Man. He's like a guy that, like, he's injured and he's still playing for the shirt. But you kind of see these guys like Bruno, Rashford, Garnacho, even though Garnacho definitely got his assist in the game, Scott McTominay, all these guys, they play very, very selfishly, man. That's why Højlund has been so upset playing in the team because nobody really plays for him. Nobody plays for each other, really. Everybody plays like to be the superhero and want to be like the guy that's like, oh, yeah. Like, it's me. I'm taking Manchester United back to where they're supposed to be. And I was watching the game, and I kind of felt those sentiments in the game, but because everybody was trying to, like, shoot when they weren't supposed to shoot, looking for passes when they probably weren't supposed to be looking for passes. Like, it was just, like, a little bit off. But overall, man, I think, like, they played a fantastic game. I think they really brought the game to Liverpool, and in the second half, Ten Hag, and especially once he got desperate, like this dude just threw the kitchen sink at Liverpool. So I can't even say this is tactics.
The kitchen sink.
I can't even call it tactics, man. Like in the second half of overtime, of extra time, you're playing. It's like, like I put a whole bunch of strikers on the field. It's like, yo, Anthony, check this out. I need you to play left back, bro. Like I took Bisaka off. He just came back from injury. I took Lindelof off. He's playing on his last legs because he's tired as hell. Dallo, I kind of need him to play inverted and at right back at the same time. Yeah, I'm just gonna need you to play left back, bro.
Yeah,
So I can't even say it's tactics. It's just, it's just one of those games that I think Liverpool was tired, Manchester United was tired as well, but overall, like, these guys played their hearts out against their biggest rivals, and he got a great result when it was needed because obviously Manchester United is not playing for any other trophies this season. They're out of the Champions League. They're fighting for top five at this point. And maybe now with everything that's going on with how well the English teams have been doing in Europe, they could have five teams in the UCL next season. So they could hang their hats on that hope. Maybe they could push for a top five spot, but now they're currently sitting in six, behind, I think, Tottenham, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm check it out
Uh,
for you.
yeah. So, but again, got the good result, went into the international break, you know,
Yep, behind Tottenham.
so and all the rumors comes about. Gareth Southgate is on the list of potential
Deserve is
candidates.
in, yeah.
Deserby, a whole bunch of
Zidane.
names, and you
I
know,
mean, it's there's a break, so they.
yeah.
But that's what I was kind of like contradicting your question because is I don't think Manchester United is looking to keep Ten Hag. Because I know he saved his job with that game versus Liverpool, and he's buying himself time like he always does. Like he always wins those major like, am I gonna get fired or not? Like
Yep.
he's buying himself some time. In the meantime, the new guys coming in, and I know like they're gonna appoint a CEO. Omar Birara.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna.
Yep. That's his name.
That's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Birara. Okay, so it seems that he's not sure if there's gonna be someone under him for sporting direction, like that
Mm-hmm.
for a sporting director.
He's
But
looking
they're
for
gonna.
one.
He's looking for him. So it seems that they're gonna have maybe more power in like buying players. Like they have a more of a say than the coach. So like right now, Ten Hag he has like full power, right? Like whoever he wants, he gets, and we can see that with players that he wanted from Ajax or anywhere else. He's getting all the players he wants. So it seems that he's the one with the authority, like to say
Mm-hmm.
who he wants at the moment. But that's gonna change. Is he okay with that,
Yep.
or is it a move towards like, all right, we're gonna make this move so that this would bother him, that it makes it easier now, like so we can separate with Ten Hag and move on to a different coach for the whatever new era, if that's how we can call it. So I'm not sure like they're looking to keep him. I think they're gonna do like another Patrick Vieira at Nice, coming in, talk to him, be like, hey, yeah, you good. Like, don't worry, you're good. Like, boom, you're fired afterwards after a
Yeah.
couple bad games. And they actually wanted to fire you already. You were just buying time and stuff like that. So I think they're gonna do another Patrick Vieira. He's not gonna be there too long.
Yeah, man. It's hard to disagree with your point because you know exactly what they did with Nice, obviously, and to be fair, Ten Hag hasn't really given himself a lot to support his case as
I mean, he got an
being,
FA Cup, right?
well, yeah,
Or Carabao Cup.
from last season, yeah, Carabao Cup from last
Carabao Cup
season,
and a final in FA Cup,
yeah.
but they lost.
They lost to Manchester
Okay.
City, um, and they finished top three, but you know they got dismantled in the Champions League this season. They're out of the Carabao Cup. They play Coventry City in the semifinals of the FA Cup. You would think that's a W, but even Coventry City, their players are going on interviews and saying it's like, to be fair, we kind of like this tie. And that's really embarrassing, man. Like for a team that's not that's in what? The second tier, I think they're like 17th or 15th. They're not even in the top 6 of the second division. And they're saying like, "You know what? Kind of kind of okay with playing Manchester United, man. It's not too bad." Like what is that, man? What does that tell you about your group? So, yeah, it's hard to disagree, but at the same time I started thinking about like, even as much as he's disliked by a lot of Manchester United fans, um Mark Goldbridge was saying that like, hey, that would be like another manager coming to work with a bunch of group of players that he didn't purchase.
Okay,
Like,
fair enough.
you got Anthony, like Anthony's a bag,
Pochettino.
exactly. Anthony's a bag of bricks, like untalented, like just cannot do anything. So you're just bringing
Yeah, you
in like,
wanted to throw that shot.
I mean,
You
he's
just
just
picked Anthony and that's
yeah,
it.
I mean,
And
look,
you moved on.
listen. I've defended Anthony on the show
You did,
before,
you
like
did, you did.
but at the end of the day,
Taking
he
the
doesn't really.
defensive
Yeah,
duties.
that's why
Not enough.
Ten Hag made that decision to play him at left back. Like he's like, yo,
He said you could do it.
I know what you could do on the defensive end.
Rashford was
Uh,
like, bro, like just get on with it. Like, let's go.
but yeah, man, you got a whole bunch of players that are not performing, and now you got the rumors of Scott McTominay because of like he's Manchester United's top goal scorer this season.
He's
They're
gonna
gonna
get
renew. They're gonna
renew. Yeah,
renew his contract with an improved deal, and it's like, dude, that's not the right move, man. Like, I don't care if Scott McTominay scored
$20 goals.
important goals and timely goals for Manchester United this season. A lot of times, like every time he's on the field,
He's
man,
jogging.
the team is playing 10 versus 11. I'm sorry, man. Like he is useless. Like all he's looking to do is make those deep runs from midfield when the ball is getting cross, making cutbacks so that he can score goals. As a midfielder, that is not that's not your only job. So I just don't know what the communication is between the coaching staff and the players, really. And ultimately, that falls on Ten Hag. So, no matter how much INEOS and
Is there a tape
what's that?
going on? Is there a tape going on from Man United, like a documentary that maybe
I don't
that will
know.
let you know
I
what's
don't know.
being
I
not
don't
90.
know.
It will tell you by 60%, but you don't have an
I
idea
don't
how they
know.
communicate and tell
Yeah,
like his players their roles and stuff like that. But
it'd
one
be
thing I would
good.
say, like, also one thing about Ten Hag, like I remember like in November, I'm like, don't fire him because there's no clear coaches. Like there's it's useless to fire him in November. Like wait till like maybe you have more clarity. But one thing about him also, like I agree with you, is like there hasn't been a lot of consistency of good games.
Hmm.
So like it's his third year coming up next season.
If he
If he
stays at the
makes it
job, yeah.
at your third year, you should be able to be a little bit further more with the team. Like
Mm,
there's consistency. Like for example, like Barcelona, when there's consistency, we know what to get from them. Like Bayern Munich, Manchester City, we know like what kind of games they're, like if there's just any adjustment, we know like how they play. So at that time, like for Manchester United, you should be able to know like what to expect from them
Yep.
in a weekly basis. So that's the only negativity I would say.
Yeah, no matter how poor, well, not poor, but no matter how like how many injuries the team has had for a club like Manchester United, I think they're at neutral goal difference right now, or if not in the negative. They're not scoring goals. They're not playing well against the teams in the on the bottom half of the table. So ultimately, all those things like and Ten Hag for such a guy that like is kind of no nonsense and doesn't want to really do excuses. He's fallen into that thing of like, have you seen how many injuries we've had? X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, man, you're not really doing yourself a service right now. And I don't want to buy into this when Sheffield United, which every team has dismantled in the EPL, is
But you always
really
but you
is
always played well.
is getting 20 shots on goal versus you, bro. Like it doesn't make sense. So, Jim Ratcliffe said they're not looking towards, firing him. Everybody's saying in INEOS group, they're saying like 100% it's going to be Ten Hag like continuing next season.
Yeah, okay.
But
You can
exactly.
never say what though.
But I mean, yeah, I don't think as of right now, the way I'm looking at things going, I don't know if it's the right move to actually keep Ten Hag and the job. Um, but at the same time, if you're bringing somebody else in, I think you got to get rid of some personnel. But that's
Yeah,
gonna
you have
be
to. Yeah, I mean, I think they will also communicate that with the group. Be
yeah.
like, there's a couple players I want, and these are the couple players I want out.
So we'll see. We'll see what
We'll
happens
see.
in the summer. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I think the right move would be under this group to move in a different direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We'll see. Moving on to the next topic, La Liga. Rodrygo, should he leave if Mbappe comes in?
That's your boy, man. Yeah.
I mean, it's getting crowded, and I kind of agree with Laporta,
hmm
the when he said that when they asked him a question about like if he's mad if Real Madrid will get Mbappe, he's like they gotta sell someone for salary purposes, and also there's too many people up front. Like it's gonna happen that one of them is gonna leave, and when you look at the team right now and how it's constructed, if you're playing, it depends of how also next year, next season, like how they're going with the line. If they're going the same lineup again, Woj goes out. 4-3-3, he might even be out. So the he's kind of the odd out at the moment. But if you receive an offer over 75 million, 80 million like this, like Real Madrid is gonna sell him.
Yeah.
And it's gonna resolve every issue with like that tension already, like ooh, question mark.
Yeah.
So unless they can, in the 4-3-3, he could fit if Mbappe does play number nine. He will be the right winger, but also you could see like Bellingham starts at right winger, like, but he's not gonna be like a winger. He's gonna be inverted and leave that space for Carvajal. So we don't know. Or
Yeah.
Valverde could start at the right wing, false. There's always a false now. Um, but he is in the attack. He is the odd man out. He's gonna need minutes. If they play the same lineup, he doesn't start already.
Yeah. And I mean and even then, like, in the 4-3-3, that creates such an imbalance because now you literally have three guys that just don't play
Not tracking back.
any
No
type of
defensive,
defense
yeah.
whatsoever.
So you
So
have to kind of balance it with
yeah,
Valverde or something like this.
yeah. I think, sometimes like, they bring Joselu on to obviously shift to a four three
He won't
three,
be here
but
next year, right?
yeah, no, but I know he won't be here
Yeah,
next
yeah.
year, but it's just to show like sometimes like, in certain situations they do bring Joselu on and they shift to a 4-3-3, but it's usually like in like when they're in control of the games
Yeah.
a lot of
Dying
times,
moments. Like they already know
exactly,
it's over. Yeah.
and or they're desperate and they need to,
Score a
really
goal.
really score goals. So that's not an option to really keep the team balanced. And we know Mbappe doesn't want to play as a
Number nine.
striker really. But so, that's why the rumors every kind of fake little sports news outlet are
Mbappe
saying
just
like,
give it. Mbappe is a tricky guy.
nah, for sure.
He actually just gave it away. I'm just thinking about like how he actually just answered
The
in a
question,
crypting, yeah, like when they ask him
he's
like
gonna play Barcelona.
no, not that. Like they asked him a question and then he said, I'll let you guys know when my decision is made. It's probably gonna be before the Euro. But he said that right now I don't know if I could play the Olympics. Um, only one guy can answer that for you. Who's gonna be that guy? Huh? Real Madrid just had like a news a couple weeks ago that there's some players that won't be allowed to play. Bro, like you like he's a tricky guy. Like you just give it away. Like there's Nacel's gonna stop you from playing the Olympics? Come on. There's only one guy and there's only one news that was leaked the other day that Real Madrid's not gonna allow Camavinga and like now you're saying there's only one guy that has to give
El,
me that answer.
El Fio.
Who? Liverpool? They're not gonna let you go? Come on, bro.
Mr. Fio.
Yeah,
uh, but
Mr.
yeah,
Fio.
man.
But yeah, so
That's
he's
why, like, with the rumors coming out, like,
have fun, Rodrygo. We
I'm
don't
just,
know how long you got.
I'm just hoping, like, Manchester United is smart enough to actually bid. But I know, I'm feeling like, a guy like Pep
With
Guardiola is
uh,
looking at it as like,
Pep Guardiola doesn't need any
hmm.
players that are gonna last for
Of
four or
course he,
5 years.
of
I
course
just
he
need to
doesn't need
squeeze 2 years for you,
it.
and then if you're good, if you're still good, you're good. If you're not, I'm already on my next move already.
Because we know
Doesn't
we
yeah.
know he's looking at selling Grealish,
He
uh,
might even be looking at selling Doku
Doku.
too, bro. Like the experiment is very gonna be.
Ah,
It's gonna that's gonna be the shortest experiment ever.
I've never seen somebody get figured out
There's a
so
high
quick.
turnover on wingers when they play in the season and also in transfer market. Every 2 years, Guardiola's gonna need a new winger. That's
I've never seen a winger get figured out so quickly in the
Doku.
Premier League than Doku, man.
Oh, bro, like
It's like
Doku could either be
after 3 months, they're like, oh, oh, that's all you got. Oh, okay, I
that's
got
it.
you.
Okay, all right. Like the first two times, okay, you got us. Like now, but there's some game he's gonna get you because like he's so quick with his feet.
Exactly.
Like he's gonna get you, but Doku's not locked in as a left winger.
He reminds me a lot
There's a better
sometimes
left winger
of
out there. They will go for it. I mean, there
um
is Mbappe, but
yeah, I remember like he kind of reminds me of Maxime sometimes, but
I don't. I didn't.
with
Yeah,
less technical ability.
yeah.
But
He did a lot. Like he did a lot. Like there's games that like there was a game against Manchester City. He was impossible. But there's like most of the games, he's just like, okay, that's it. Like
yep.
you're just gonna be like a little ant. Like, come on, bro. All right.
But yeah, I think if Mbappe does come in, like you said, Rodrygo
Right
is
winger
the
is
odd man
open,
out. Yeah.
kind of.
I
I
mean
feel
it
like
is.
Foden is gonna have a higher role if
Mhm.
most players gonna be gone. Like Kevin De Bruyne might not be able to play as much anymore. I'm talking about like in 2 years. Manchester City might be different.
Yeah. And we could see that
Foden
like,
might be a 10.
yeah. I mean, even though Alvarez is in that role right
Bro,
now,
is not
kind
gonna
of,
be here in two, three
yeah.
years, Mike. Come on, like
I mean,
they're not gonna be there. They're just moment guys. Like, bro, come on.
uh, I
Get
don't know.
yo, like
I can't speak to it yet because I kind of like him. So,
we
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 might,
we
we might,
love Gabriel Jesus too when he was there in Manchester City.
did
The
we?
high turnover. I mean, at some point when he was scoring and stuff like that. Ferran Torres, everyone. There was a point like Ferran Torres was number 9 for these guys. Bro, these guys are just moment guys. Like Alvarez out in 2 years. Come on, like
You heard it here first.
you heard it here first. It's over. Like
But
he'll
yeah,
still be able to play in a decent team. I'm just saying, like
not
he's
for
gonna be
sure, for
done.
sure,
Like
for sure. But
Pep
Rodrigo,
is gonna cry, be like, we can't replace him, and but he
is it
already know his
Savio coming
replacement.
back anyways?
I think so. I think like
Yeah,
during the game
so
versus during the Brazil and England game, they were talking about like how he's should be back. I'm taking words from the reporters that were in that was saying
mhm.
that in that game. So I'm not sure. I didn't check. I didn't
and
fact check it.
and
Yeah.
and I think Kuto is for them too. Like so
Yeah.
they got some options. So
Girona. FC Girona is
yeah,
a little Manchester City.
yeah, I think they got some options.
That's
But
their
yeah,
boutique.
man,
It's
Rodrigo,
like Strasbourg with Chelsea. That's their boutique.
keep your eye, Manchester United. Keep your eye on that Rodrigo
Yeah.
situation,
No, I mean
please.
that he'll be a good. He'll just fit in the right. Both he'll fit in the right in Manchester City and United. But yeah, let's move on to
Hmm.
the next one. That was funny. So the next one is we're kind of shifting to basketball now. NBA, we're getting close to the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Heating up.
I think we're gonna have some good playing tournaments too, because
Mm-hmm.
we might see some top teams in that playing tournament.
Yeah.
Um,
We thought Golden State was back, but it's like
eh,
calmate.
we got them with injuries, bro. So, but nah, like let's Timberwolves, Oklahoma, all day pretenders. So
How
you're saying
much are
that?
you buying into the stock, man? Are you putting
Okay,
money? Are you putting money
in a
into
championship or just conference finals? Because championship, like
as
you're overdoing it now.
no,
Like
no, no, definitely not championship, but conference finals. Are you buying in?
I think the only team, I think the obvious team that you put money on that both of the that on that list, I would say OKC looks like a team that can do that run now, like this year, like okay, because they have like a lot of skills, different ways they can get to the basket and stuff like that. But if you're gonna ask me which team I think, I think it's gonna be Timberwolves. I think they're the only team that I would say they're not pretenders. If a team is gonna fall out of those two and become a pretender kinda, I would say OKC because they still got a lot to learn. I just feel like Minnesota broke the odds that was put against them.
What do you mean?
Last year, what did you think about Timberwolves, Mike?
True, immature team.
See,
Yeah.
in over a year, what do you think about them now? We're in
uh,
March 2024.
they're one of the best defensive teams in the league.
You're giving them
Uh,
identity.
yeah,
See,
powered by a superstar in Anthony
more
Edwards.
identity right there.
Yeah.
So you just give him two props versus last year it was zero. And then if I ask you last year, this is where Minnesota, this is where Minnesota will be next in 2024, you will be like laughing at me because you will be like Gobert's done. Carl Anthony Towns might be either traded or he's not gonna take that jump. And Anthony era, I think everyone was on. We all knew he's gonna be a star. We didn't think he's gonna take a major jump with consistency
Mhm.
yet, but we knew like he was gonna be a star. Like that's. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they got better in all aspects in the game. Like defensively, they got better. Is having a better season than last year when everyone thought like, okay, this is one of the worst trades, and now they suck. And I don't think they can. They're probably gonna be a team like, oh, I get to the eighth and seventh, and maybe at best a second round pick, a second round team, and then that's it. Um, like a Rockets with
Yeah, yeah.
T Mac, a very good team,
A second round,
but
and then that's it.
that's it. Yeah. um, Anthony Edwards averaging more points, but he's more efficient as well, and he's doing it in a consistent manner, and also he's accepting the role of this is my team. I'm gonna lead the energy. And then he's been doing it well. And I think also you gotta give props to Carl Anthony Towns. That was his team, and he calmly took like you don't feel like there's no tension. And
Yeah.
Carl Anthony Towns is still balling as well. He's back, right? He was back yesterday. Not
Was
yet.
he? I don't.
I'm not
Let me check.
sure
Let me check for you. Okay, keep going on
because
your
I didn't
point.
watch the game yesterday. Huh?
Yeah, keep going on your point. Keep talking.
Okay,
I'll
yeah.
check.
Um, Carl Anthony is he's okay. We knew Carl Anthony can score, but he's having actual big moments as well. Um, McDaniel's defensively, he's gonna be their main guy.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't okay.
No, he's still not back yet.
He's still injured. Okay, but Rudy Gobert came back and having a probably gonna give him defensive player in the again.
Yeah.
Last year he was in a worse space, but now like he's doing well. I feel like the team mingled very well. They improved as a unit. Um, also like I was looking at something. I'm not really like wanted to bring stats into that, but
Oh,
it
you
seems
could
that
bring up the numbers. And if somebody's wondering why Richie said Gobert would probably win Defensive Player of the Year again, it's like, yeah, Timberwolves, like in terms of points per game, like I think they're the best team in the NBA, like in the
yeah,
points per game allowed versus them. Um, so yeah, they're incredibly well coached team on the defensive side, and of course, Rudy Gobert. It starts with him. Uh, but yeah, man, I think you sold me with your point, especially with Karl Anthony Towns being out. We thought that team was gonna dip, and they've still stayed there in the top three,
And
top two spot in the
they're
Western
averaging
Conference.
like very good games against like top teams as well
Yep.
this year, and in a consistent way too. So
Obviously, they had a comeback victory versus the Warriors last night. Uh, but everybody went on Twitter to question Steve Kerr coaching decisions again because he needs to be questioned because this man be dumb.
they're like in the same position that Memphis was last season.
Yeah.
Like Memphis before, okay, last season, before the season, what was that, like 2022 when they got knocked out to the first round again? I think it was that round where they beat Golden State in the play-in tournament.
Yeah.
They maybe they won lost in the first round, but they came back. I think they took the first seed, right? Or the second seed.
Uh,
They were
what
top
I think
three. Top three.
uh, e- they definitely were in the top but I think it was Denver that still ended up. Was it Denver that ended up top two?
Wow.
I
It was
can't,
just
I
last year,
can't,
man.
I cannot
And we
remember.
can't
Yeah,
process it. Like,
yeah, I cannot remember. It was
I got you right now.
either
So it was, yeah,
Phoenix.
Nuggets was first and
Yeah,
Memphis was second, like two
yeah,
games out. So they had a consistent season, and the noise in March is like, can they do it in the playoff? Because it's like you play basketball, like when you're playing like the playoffs, it's a probably a different game because like you wanna like it's the defense is tighter, like it's tougher playing half court ball. It's more tactical, I guess. So that's what the noise was for Memphis to be like, okay, are they gonna be able to take the to the next step? They play the Lakers. Unfortunately, John Moy got hurt in the second or third game, but overall they were not very good. And then you
mhm.
got guys like Jared Jackson Jr. Like, okay, he's gonna take the jump. John Moy was out already having an MVP season, kinda, sort of, like top five, top six player, kind of. I feel like I feel like Minnesota is in the same position, but it's they have a little bit more maturity, kinda, I would say. Like like I said, they beat the odds of everyone saying that okay, there's nothing going on here. Like it's a good team, but they stay consistent. They had people talking about them. I think that they might be that team that could make it to the conference finals out of those like OKC. Like
Yeah,
I'll pick him.
I
I'm
would
not
agree.
saying I think OKC are not pretenders, but I'm probably if I had to pick one of them, like they will be the pretender. OKC.
Yeah, I would agree. Especially OKC, they're a very young team.
Yeah,
I think there was a thing that came out. The average age of their starting group is like 22, 23 years old. Uh, that's basically like the same OKC that made the finals run in 2011, 2012 versus the Miami Heat. Very young.
these guys were like different level.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Like you got
Yeah,
three Hall of Famers on that team.
yeah.
We can't potentially say the same yet for this OKC group because
They'll get there.
they're still very young. We know
They got a
Shy
point guard that
Shy is a
just
baller.
yeah, he's quietly taking over the league, kind of.
Yeah. Chet is great. Jalal Williams, very,
Yeah,
very, very good role player. Lou
yep.
Dort, very, very, very
Important
good role
player.
player. Um, and you got Josh Giddey, which it seems like OKC just loves dudes that can't shoot. Like, just fits his role on the team, but can't shoot to save his life.
He
You
needs a veteran shooter, like
could
a
probably
JJ,
start
like
tapping Ben Simmons into his mentions sometimes. Uh,
because
but
like players like him, they need shooter. They need more shoot. Like if they can get one more shooter, man,
yeah,
like a JJ
so
Redick type,
for
catch and shoot.
sure. So I mean, they have that on the
No, they
team,
do. They
like
do. They're good. They're
because
good.
the thing is that like when playoffs come, that's the beautiful thing about playoffs. And something that I think a lot of NBA coaches they preach, well, NBA coaches that know that they're going to make a run for the playoffs, they usually tell their players, it's like, "Hey, you could be moping all season, but I need you to stay ready." And playoffs are a game of X's and O's to the ultimate, man. Like it is a game of chess like
Yep.
you cannot imagine. That's why the 15th player on the bench, man, guy that you didn't see all
I think.
season
Hmm.
in a specific series, he can be called up because that's what the team needs at that
Yep.
specific moment. And I was looking at their team. They have the guy that used to play for the Mavericks. Was it Mavericks? I think he played for the Mavericks as well,
What's the
and
name?
the Spurs. I think Bertans. I think Bertans is on that team if I'm not mistaken. Um, if he's not, then I'm sorry. Then I'm thinking of
Bertans.
somebody else. David
Not sure,
Bertans.
Mike.
Is he on that roster or he's still in the Mavs? There was a 3-point shooter that I saw on their team that's not really getting minutes.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
actually in Oklahoma.
he is? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so. And he's not really getting minutes on that team. And I could see him like, pop out in the playoffs because the playoffs is like the game goes to half court. It's really, really defensive. And we all know what's happened to Ben Simmons when he was at peak level when he got to the playoffs. And I could see teams just like completely ignoring Josh Giddey when it comes to playoff times for 7 games straight. We know what happened in the 2016 Warriors finals when Harrison Barnes couldn't put a ball in the ocean. They just ignored him the entire series and they let him jack up whatever shots that he wanted because he was mentally checked out and he could not hit a shot. And I could see that happening to Josh Giddey, and I could see him getting benched in certain series, and they're gonna have to figure out other role players to fill in the spot because they could knock down shots. So they have a well constructed roster, but because of their youth, I'm not completely buying into them. I think some of those teams on the bottom half of the table, like a Clippers, a Dallas Mavericks, or even a Golden State, if they actually end up
And the
making the
Lakers could catch
playoffs,
them.
yeah, the Lakers as well. I think all those teams can beat the
Oh yeah,
Oklahoma
they
City
can.
Thunder.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, but I will if I have money to bet on, I would put money in the Minnesota Timberwolves stock, man. I would.
Fair enough. All right, so
Now,
you got a bonus question?
yeah, man. I saw this clip, man. I saw this clip that they showed of Wemby. I think like it was like 3 nights ago, where you know he rolled to the basket and they lobbed the ball up from like basically like the free throw line and he caught it and dunked it. And I was so furious, man. I was so mad. I'm like, yo, bro, this play has been here the entire season. The entire goddamn season, this play
Season.
has been here for this guy. And they refuse. They refuse to toss the ball up. They refuse to toss the ball up. Alexa's giving me the weather forecast right now. I don't know
Oh,
why. Hopefully, I didn't hear that. But yeah, where would the San Antonio Spurs be if his teammates weren't haters, bro? They're dead last. They're
I
dead last.
I think the
They're the
last time I saw that, because I didn't watch the Spurs in a consistent um as consistent I wanted to, but there was a game that I was watching and I saw that and then I'm like, it'll be funny if it's a thing. I guess it became a thing. Like, have they been doing that a lot?
no,
Oh,
they
okay.
haven't.
No, I
And
meant to
that,
say like ignoring him,
oh yeah, they have been ignoring him, which is the problem to me.
or maybe it takes them time to understand his positioning or stuff like that. I don't know, like when exactly you have to hit him, when he's the most dangerous, when he's like comfortable in the position that he is right now to score or to make a play. But maybe they don't have that IQ too. To
That could be it, but I
It's
mean,
like
you're
they're coming.
getting
Most of these guys coming from straight to college. Like they're just running.
My
They're
thing
just
with
running
my thing
like
with
a
this whole thing is that like they're getting coached by Greg Popovich,
yeah.
which
It
kind
may
of
take
upsets me.
might make time. Yeah, listen, like there's a great coach, but any great coach may take time if the player that you're coaching is not like getting the message as quick as possible. I mean, most of these guys are very young. Maybe they know. Maybe they've told them where exactly
Nah,
they should make the play, but when you're in the game and it's like you just start running,
his
I guess
teammates
I
are
don't know.
haters, man. I
He said
swear.
teammates are haters.
I swear, man. The guy's averaging 20 points per game. He's literally 7'4". Just lob the ball
Just
up,
lob the
bro.
ball to him.
Like
Yeah.
it's like what 20 when was it? What was peak Dwight Howard? 07, 08, 09. It's like, dude, just toss the ball up. I'll go fetch it, man. Like just put me in position, man. Like I'm gonna go
Yo.
fetch it.
Yeah, that's
like
funny.
like
But
stop
he's not
hogging
demanding
the
though.
then that's my problem.
He's
It's like
not really demanding. I've
that's
seen
my
sometimes
problem.
that he wants the ball, like he knows he's in a great position to
He's too
score, or
nice.
but like he doesn't get it and he just gets out of the paint or something like that and stays in the corner. I don't think he's really demanding. He's like also watching what they want to do in their end. Like, is there a better play that you've seen? But it is his first year, so
There ain't no better play, Richie. They're 15 and
toss me the ball.
15 and whatever their record is. Just give him the damn ball and move out the way. Like yo, the opening play of the last game he played, he literally shot the ball from the logo. Like, come on, man. Bunch of haters. He gotta go into training camp next season, watch the RDC video, put that in put the RDC World video. If you don't know that, they're the group of guys that always make the little skits. Go into training camp next season, play that on the big screen, and tell them that they're all haters and give me the damn ball.
That
Get out
ball.
my way.
Eh, we'll see. Maybe maybe they'll get it. Um,
Hopefully.
yeah. So that was the last one of the day for episode 76.
You think Golden State gonna make the playoffs?
Where are they right now? 10?
Yep.
That's gonna be tough because if they're 10, they gotta play the Lakers.
I think they're half a game.
They're
I
not
think
beating the Lakers.
Houston is one game behind them.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me check that.
There's 12 games left. It's looking
Yes, okay, so then yeah, it's not looking good.
it's looking kind of tight.
It's
I
not
ain't
looking,
gonna
yeah. I
lie.
don't know. Ooh, sorry. Sorry. Um,
I'm gonna be so sad if these guys don't make the playoffs, man. Not seeing Steph Curry in the playoffs gonna hurt me.
yes. And the
Let's
Lakers, the Lakers gotta play the Mavericks to make the playoffs, right? Because the Mavericks are eight.
in the plan,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. No. Well, yeah. So
Yeah, because
so Golden
nine
State Golden State will have to play the Lakers
and
and Dallas will have to play SAC.
so they can
And
steal in
then
them seven.
yeah,
Okay, you're right.
yeah.
It's not gonna be
But
easy as well.
so if Dallas wins, if Dallas beats SAC, like if
They
the
take the
playoffs,
seven.
yeah,
So
and then
now it's the eighth.
SAC would have to play the winner of Golden State versus the Lakers. So it's tough. It's a really tough road for Golden State right now,
Uh,
man. Like that's all I'm.
That's a huge route, bro. Like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
good luck to them. Um, yeah, so that was episode 76. Any last words, Mike?
Nope.
All right, thank you. Like, subscribe, and follow. Thank you very much. Peace.